What's good, YouTube? Ghost Regino back again with the second Attack on Titan video of the day. Obviously, there are 2 episodes that are releasing this week, unfortunately due to the Wakayama earthquake that hit Japan on the 15th of Monday. So all the best to the people over there in Japan. Hopefully the casualties are kept to the minimum. Prayers and thoughts are with them. But in my last video, I did a review of episode 14. A lot went down. Zeke versus Levi. Eren talking shit to Armin and Mikasa, beating the hell out of Armin. A lot went down there. This second episode, I believe, is going to be more of a flashback episode for Zeke. We saw briefly him playing baseball with I'm assuming is his teacher. He called him Dr. Xavier. So we're probably going to learn more about Zeke, and Zeke is one of my favorite characters in the show, so I'm very, very much looking forward to this episode. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Zeke flashback. This is how Liberia looks, and it kind of looks like the walls. That's Grisha. Oh man, a racist. I'm the cleaning staff here and it's my job to get rid of filth? Come on, man. Remember this well, Zeke. And baby Zeke witnessed that. Yeah, he had ratted out his parents, but he witnessed that hate and that racism. Soul salvation. I had a feeling this episode is going to be deep. I want to find out about my boy Zeke. Jeez, Jaeger was lagging, eh? Young maggot, and that's we saw him at the end of the last episode, Dr. Xavier. And I guess he's the original Beast Titan because he's gonna be my successor. So Dr. Jaeger, so like the grandpa that Eren saw in Marley, is basically teaching Zeke all the history, how Titans invaded Bear, Marleyan cities. So Grisha would teach Zeke the Eldian side of history. His grandfather would teach him the Marleyan side of history. And I guess he was kind of hit with conflicting ideas because his grandparents were kind of teaching him Marleyan history, which is like Eldi is bad, and his Grisha would teach him like, yo, Marley's bad. As a kid, that's tough because you kind of have to pick and choose now, right? And you're conflicted. It's tough because Grisha would never spend time with him because he was out here building the Eldia restorationists, right? That's tough. That's tough. And yeah, that's what I was saying, because he's now Grisha's teaching him the opposite. As a kid, how do you take that? You know what I'm saying? Like, now Grisha's saying those invasions never happened. Yes, sir, Dr. Xavier. That's probably how he's gonna learn to play baseball. Yo, I love this, man. Look at that pressure, man. That's intense pressure. Look at that. Like, this man just wants to play catch. Like, his parents don't view him as a kid. They view him as an opportunity to down Marley. He's still trailing? Yeah, he's still trailing. Look at that, man. Look at this. Wow, man. No support. Yo, Grisha as a pops, man. It's wow. Grisha is a savage. Grisha's not a good dad, bro. And like, you could see how he treated Zeke completely different than he treated Eren, and I feel like he learned from his mistakes because he wasn't treating Eren like this. Shit, Tom Xavier is more of a dad to Zeke than Grisha was. Jeez, so he knows that his parents are at risk. But Grisha's a horrible dad. I don't even know if you want to save him at that point. Look at him, man. Such a conflict going on, man. And as a kid, the thing is, how do you handle all that? How do you handle all this? And Grisha isn't wrong either. That's the thing. They're both right. It's just as a kid, your head just blows up. Your head just like, what do you do? We all know Zeke ends up ratting them out, and you can kind of see why he does it. He's just so conflicted. Xavier feels bad for him. That's love, man. That's love. That would show loyalty. Yeah. So Xavier is the one who encouraged Zeke to rat them out. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Yes, sir. Grown man Zeke, warrior candidate. You see the armband, warrior candidate? Hey, the whole gang. Damn. So back then, 600 years ago, the founding titan basically cured a disease by reconfiguring the bodies. That's sick. And it means that all the Eldians are connected to the founding titan. That's sick. Lose their ability to have children? What? Damn, yo, Zeke is taking a dark turn. What you saying, Zeke? You want all Eldians to be gone? He's basically saying the ultimate solution is to not have any Eldians on Earth. We had to mix. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Damn, this guy married a Marleyan. She killed herself and the kid when she found out he was Eldian. And he decided to become a Titan shifter so he could choose when to kill himself. On a timer of 13 years. That's crazy. Xavier is down bad, bro. Xavier is down bad. Yes, sir. That boy got his resolve. Euthanasia plan. So they really want to just eradicate all Eldians. Not because they hate them, but so that they wouldn't suffer anymore. Which is sad, but it makes sense, I guess. That's lovely, man. Backstory. Father. Damn. Because Xavier really was his true dad. And Grisha didn't do shit for him. This is sick. We're getting the full backstory. I love it. He's saying the wrong figuratively because it would have been better if no one was alive. So he's kind of aligning with Zeke's path and Zeke's plan. Jeez, that's how they teamed up. Yes, sir. The Jaeger Bros. The Jaeger Bros. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's the ball that he was flipping the whole time. That's dope. That's dope. I love it. We needed this backstory. He saved them. For him, saving means like, you know, giving them death. Really. Saving them from the cruel world. To them. Jeez, what's going on? What's he doing? Oh shit, he let it activate. He let it activate. Holy Levi. Jeez, Levi got caught dead into that. Damn. Guys, Zeke's backstory. This episode is pretty much just all about his backstory, and I loved every minute of it. First, we gotta talk about how Grisha might as well just be a deadbeat dad, because he was not a father at all. We kind of see what went down in between Zeke's birth and Zeke ratting Grisha out to Marley, and we know exactly why. This episode makes you kind of understand and sympathize. He didn't see Zeke as a son, he saw him as a tool for the LD restorationists. He only wanted him to become a warrior so that they would have someone in there to help to assist him in kind of overthrowing Marley. And all Zeke wanted to do was kind of just to be loved like any kid wants, and he just wanted to play catch and didn't get the chance to do that. He'd come home from school early and his father would be like, yo, let's study up on history. And the show kind of highlights this because it's such a real thing too, how history is so manipulated, and history is usually depicted by the winner in most cases, but just in general, history is altered in the books by everybody. People who want their side to be shown as the stronger, the better, the nicer, the good side basically, and it's shown perfectly here. You have Grisha showing him the Eldia side, where like the overtaking of the village of Vale or Rowlo, all those villages, LJ never did that shit. Like, they never assaulted them. Whereas Xavier is teaching him, like, hey, you know what, listen, in this book, it says that, the Eldians, they marched in one day and took the Raylo village, they took the Vale village, they took it all in one day. So Zeke, as a young boy, he might have been like 7 or 8. He's hearing these conflicting stories, and he, as a kid, what do you do? Like, what do you say to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's conflicting. Zeke's mind was going crazy. On one side you have your father who, 1, doesn't love you, 2, is using you, 3, is spewing historical facts to shame Marley. On the other, you have a guy, Xavier, who is really much a father figure, spending time with Zeke, relating to Zeke, teaching him how to play catch, helping him when his father wasn't even there, ultimately leading to him advising Zeke to rat out his parents, because, hey, you know what? The Marleans were onto Grisha and them, but they weren't really onto Grisha, they were onto the LDR restorationists. So Grisha was not for sure a target yet, but Zeke kind of acted on impulse and was like, hey, like, y'all gotta stop. Grisha was like, nah, we ain't stopping shit. So Zeke was like, hey, these motherfuckers did that shit, you better catch them, but just make sure me and my grandparents are cool. And that's what they ended up doing. Zeke had to make a tough decision, and I gotta say, I kind of sympathize with it. Maybe I'm a bit biased because Zeke is one of my favorite characters, but I kind of sympathize with that. Like, I know why he did what he did, and it kind of shows, it comes full circle when he inherits Xavier's Titan. He says, I will carry on your will, father. To him, Xavier was his real dad. You know what I'm saying? And I'll live by this. Grisha might as well have been a deadbeat, because he was not a good father to Zeke by any means. And in one way, it kind of shows Zeke. It shows that Grisha maybe learned from his past mistakes, because he didn't treat Aaron like that. Like, Aaron was like, I want to be free. Grisha was like, yo, I'll take you to the basement. Aaron was like, I want to do this. Grisha would be like, yo, I bet, let's do it. But in one way, like, he only did that to Aaron because it aligned with what Grisha wanted, to be free as well. So was Grisha a good dad? Absolutely not. That's Father of the Year award. He would not get a nomination. And yeah, we kind of see how Zeke was built on and where his resolve comes from. And it's beautiful to see. Ultimately, what he wants, I don't know if it's the same thing that Aaron wants, but he wants a euthanasia. And basically, he wants all Eldians to be dead. He asked Xavier, is there a way for Eldians to not reproduce? And Xavier's like, wait, why are you talking about this? And he's like, yo, because I feel like he doesn't hate Eldians. He just says, if we weren't born, we wouldn't have to suffer in this cruel world. And it's such a sad way to think, like, how to get to a point where you have to resort to that plan. Like, hey, to eradicate the pain, we might as well just not be born. To be free, we might as well just not be born. It makes sense, but in such a messed up way. You know what I'm saying? But that's his resolve right there. And we see that in Liberio, Aaron kind of agreed with it. He's like, hey, I want to carry on my father's will too. Father was wrong about one thing, because if Eldians weren't born at all, he wouldn't have had to kill those children. He wouldn't have to kill that royal family. So they're on the same page. Zeke tossed him the baseball. The Jaeger bros have arrived. It's showtime. And at the end, hey, Zeke got some resolve out of nowhere. He's like, Xavier, protect me. Activated, he moved so that he would activate the Thunder Spear to blow himself up. And honestly, they're both dead at this point, because Levi caught it point blank range. Levi is an acronym, but he's still a human being. So Levi gotta be dead. Levi gotta be dead. And Zeke was already on the brink of death. So if he's hitting that Thunder Spear was not on his neck. It wasn't on his neck, but he's not in Titan mode. Not that it would matter, but I guess like he should technically be dead too. But because he's a Titan shifter, I feel like Zeke has a higher chance to survive than Levi. You know, so I don't know how Levi's gonna come out of that. He survived, you know, a lot of stuff, but he's never survived a point blank explosion. So it'll be interesting to see. But Zeke has shown his resolve. He's a dog too. They're all dogs. Levi and Zeke, one pushes, the other pushes even harder, and it's lovely to see. 10 out of 10 episode just off the backstory. Shout out to Tom Xavier. He's a sick ass dude. He literally he took the Titan just to do some more research, and his backstory is kind of sad too. Like he married a Marleyan as an Eldian, had a mixed baby, and then once she found out that he was an Eldian, she killed herself and the baby. That is tough. That man was like, yo, I became a Titan shifter so that I could choose when I die, which would be like in 13 years time. That is tough, man. Attack on Titan with these backstories and these characters, like it makes you kind of fall in love with them more. It makes you appreciate them more. Zeke had his resolve. We kind of know more about why Zeke has done everything that he's done, you know, from being on Marley's side, from ratting out Grisha to flipping the script and, you know, betraying Marley earlier in the season. Everything kind of just makes more sense. You know where Zeke's head's at. You know how he was being treated by important people, being Grisha, being Xavier. It all makes sense, and honestly, I'm here for it. I love it. Guys, we only have one episode left. The season 4, the finale is next week, episode 16. It's gonna be the climax, and I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. So if you guys seen this episode as well, drop some comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on Zeke's backstory. Do you side with Zeke? Do you understand Zeke? Do you relate to Zeke? Are you still team Levi? Are you team Zeke now? Who knows? Let me know down in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed my review, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy Ghost Padrino, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.